Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Thursday, it is snowy, and it is regularly scheduled hostilities. That's right. It is the night of regularly scheduled hostilities. Just what, 3 nights from TLC?
Yep.
Thursday, Friday. Yeah, three nights. 3 nights.
Mm-hmm.
This Sunday.
This Sunday. TLC.
Sunday.
Yep.
But before we get into all of that, you guys need to know that this episode is brought to you by Manscaped, as they are the best in men's below the waist grooming, and Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family. Jules. So have you guys used your Manscaped products yet?
I have.
This product right here? Have you used
I
it?
need to, yes.
Have you used
I ain't
it?
gonna answer that.
I mean, I know it's Manscaped, but you can use it on women.
I'll just promote it by point now.
No, I dig it. I dig it.
There you go.
She hopes that any men would use that.
Well, you guys do know that their 3rd generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Man, I've never had a ceramic blade in my life. So it is
I've had
definitely
a lot of accidents.
I can say that.
Especially shaving. I come home and everybody's like, did you get beat up?
Yeah,
So it does help with that, though. I need to trim my beard. It's very good with trimming because I don't like doing baby face as it comes back.
absolutely.
And plus I get like ID'd if I'm buying anything because I look like I'm 12 years old. So it's very good for trimming and lining up.
Absolutely, man. This right here, that's no accident. This is right here straight from the Lawnmower 3.0 over at manscaped.com. And what's really cool about manscaped.com is right now, if you go to manscaped.com and you type in promo code RSH2020, you get 20% off plus free shipping. And that's not just the package. That's any product you want over at manscaped.com. Remember, RSH2020, 20% off and free shipping. Christmas is coming up. Get your Manscaped products right now.
Yeah, free shipping's nuts. I just paid like $16 for Amazon to ship something so I could get it by Christmas.
Yeah,
like,
it's fucking
stupid.
that's
free shipping, everybody. That's a big deal.
It's a rip off over at Amazon.com right now.
Well, due to COVID too, it's like, yeah, 2-day shipping don't exist, even though you're paying for it. So jokes on you guys that have Prime.
Exactly.
But anyway.
Anyway, we digress. So we have a special guest. Who is our special guest tonight? What is going on?
Boom, there he is.
Oh, Mr. AJ Strangebrew from over at the Working Fans podcast every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's going on, brother?
Not much. I just got done using my Manscaped products, which I purchased using RSH 2020 over at manscaped.com.
That's a good product usage right there, brother. Is that why the beard looks so trim in Manscaped over here?
Well, the thing is, you want a trimmed beard up here, but you want to have a lot less beard down there. So it's important to use your Manscaped products, definitely.
Damn right. All right, guys. So we are 3 days away from TLC. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my! And I did say tablers. That's weird. But tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my!
There could be tablers.
It
is WWE's creative.
Well, there's an Inferno match at TLC, so why not a tabler match as well?
Add that in there too. Yeah.
Before we get there, let's see who's here. Real men grow beards. I'm trying. Whoever the buzz is. What's up, Tyler Peters? What's up, Joe, from our buddy from Working Fans, and AJ's co-host over there. Justin Del Rio. I forget which group you're from, my friend, but
he's clearly he knows Alberto Del Rio. Clearly, they're related.
We don't want to group him with him.
No.
And Sart. Sart and me got some talking to do about next week. We'll get to that later in the show.
I thought it was Seart. Is it Sart?
Listen.
Oh, no, he's the third. And that's
at least he's not Daniel Bockley. So anyway,
he's the third person to struggle with that name is what he is.
That's fair. All right. So the one news story I want to get into, because we're going to dive deep into TLC. Keith Lee, Otis, Dio Madden, amongst others, were sent down to the PC to polish up their skills. Chuck, is this alarming to you?
Here's what I notice, especially when you say names like Keith Lee and Otis. There is a common denominator there. They're big, and they're not the style or the look that Vince McMahon is known to have. So he's going to be a little bit more biased. And he said the same shit about Kevin Owens back when Kevin Owens was still new. And Kevin Owens, in my opinion, is the best they fucking have right now. And you can take that to the fucking bank. But so it's not alarming. It just tells me more that Vince McMahon is just out of touch. But I do agree that Keith Lee's promo skills have have annoyed me for a while because of his speech pattern and the way he talks, Mr. Orton. I don't like. But his in-ring work, in my opinion, is fucking fine.
I agree.
I agree.
Keith Lee is out of this world, and it just shows how blind Vince McMahon is. He thinks that everybody has to have this cookie cutter look, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Wrestlers come in all shapes and sizes. If you like ice cream, you don't just like vanilla or chocolate ice cream. You like all different kinds of ice cream. Right. You got to tune into wrestling the same way.
I agree with that 100%.
All right, so here's my perspective. How many live events are there right now?
Well, there's 2 a week.
No, I mean live events, like Monday through.
They're live on Raw.
No, like live. Remember when we had live events?
I know what you're talking about.
Don't fucking irritate me right now. So I feel like this is a sign that he just live events were key for these guys while they're on the road. Like this is where you work with the same guy 5, 6 times, 7 times a week, and then you have the chemistry down. Keith doesn't have that luxury coming straight from NXT to work with any of these guys. And you're right, he doesn't fit what Vince wants. So like Joe says, less alarming, more insulting. I don't take it that way. Here's an example. When Drew McIntyre did not fit back in the day, remember when he came up, he was the chosen one, right? But Vince didn't dig him. He just didn't. What did he do to Drew? He threw him in 3-man band. Then what did he do? He let him go.
No, actually, he got fired first, went to TNA, and then came back.
Well, yeah, but like before he got fired, they threw him in 3MB. And then they fired him. And then Vince told him, get better. I'll see you down the road, maybe. He did, and guess what Drew did? Drew's the fucking guy.
The difference is Drew McIntyre was never really that over. Keith Lee is very over.
That's my point. Keith Lee's over right now. That's why Vince is like, go polish it. I see something with you. Go get that NXT scent off you. What works for NXT is not what Vince wants. Has he had a touch? I agree with you 100%. But
what's going to change? I mean, he's already over there. So what can he change to get more over?
It's not getting him over. What other big man on the main roster can do kicks and flips and shit like Keith Lee? Can he work with Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman's not doing sentons. He has to adjust his style to fit the guys he's going to fight. Could he fight AJ Styles? Sure, it'd be great because AJ can work with a big man. But Vince is going to want to work him with other big men, a la Braun Strowman, a la the guys that sit down, Otis, Dio Madden, that 7'9" guy that runs around with AJ Styles. He just has to polish it up.
This isn't going to be happy until Keith Lee works like the Big Show. When he slows it down and works big.
Hey, I'm afraid that Keith Lee is going to turn into the next Mark Henry, which I like. Mark Henry.
Mark Henry's in the whole thing.
He's never
he won the world title multiple times.
I mean, he was kind of the B champion. He never had a really big push.
Dude, Keith Lee could be the next sexual chocolate.
Oh jeez.
I'd be all for AJ. That'd be a great gimmick for him.
I think it'd be a great gimmick for me.
Yeah. Diet sexual chocolate, because they can't rip off straight sexual. Mark Henry get pissed. But like you could do something like no calories sexual chocolate, Keith Lee. I think that'd get over.
I think it could get over, and I think Keith Lee's got the personality to do it. I think one of Vince's problems is also when people don't have the body type that he likes. And I think that he's looking at Otis and he's looking at Keith Lee and going, well, if they trim down just a little bit. He did that same thing actually to Mark Henry, where he sent him down at different times to OVW to work on his weight and to get it under control.
Yeah, because I listened to Busted Open, and Mark Henry talked about this Saturday on the show. He was like, yeah, they did it to me. He's like, Keith has 2 options. Cry like a little bitch and get fired and go work for AEW or whatever, or man up like I did, go tone your skills and show him that you're the guy. Show Vince you can work at what he wants, and guess what? When you show him that, he'll let you have some leeway on stuff you want to do. And you've seen people that he did.
Guys, it's real simple. In our regular jobs, if we go to work and no matter how great we think we're doing or no matter how good customers think we're doing, if we don't give our employers what they expect from us, we're going to have to do something else. And wrestling's no different. If you don't give Vince McMahon what he's looking for, he's going to find somebody who will.
That's a good point. But that being said, though, is Vince McMahon right? And granted, I'm not saying if he's going to win or lose, he's going to win. He's Vince McMahon. But is he necessarily right? And in my opinion, with his bias against these big guys, no.
I don't know if he has a bias. He loves them.
No, he doesn't love them.
If you're a big guy, he loves you. like Batista. Get granted, he's more ripped, but like Big Show got pushed after push. Vince gets a hard on for those big guys.
Batista and Keith Lee are two different body types. Vince likes the Batista body type. Vince is not like.
But he pushes Braun Strowman. Otis won Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but he pushed Braun Strowman because you need the one big guy. We had Andre the Giant. He dominated. He was popular. And then we had the Big Show for years as the kind of guy who puts other people over. And that's what Braun Strowman is now that Big Show is done. And
even Braun Strowman, look at the difference in Braun Strowman's build over the last 2 years.
Ripped.
When he first came up, he's absolutely ripped now. Whereas 2 years ago, he did have that baby fat still on him with the size.
And he's still not getting a really big push. He's still being
injured. He was going to be fighting Drew McIntyre right now, but he got hurt.
Sure. I'm not saying I'm right here either, because you have to have guys who lose and you have to have guys who win. But like, I feel like Braun Strowman could have been so much more than what he's going to be, which is just going to be the guy who puts the main guys over. And that's just the way that body type is. You don't make the Big Show's champions for very long. Like how many, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
It does show you the connection that Keith Lee's made, though, because we're continuing to talk about him compared to Otis and Dio Madden, who Otis obviously has gotten over with his character when there were live crowds. Without the live crowds, I just don't think he has the same connection. And Dio Madden, his best work was getting F5'd by Brock.
Yeah. So, I mean, our comments is exploding right now. Let's hit a couple of these real quick because there's a couple good points in here. Where to even start? Your boy, Randy Asuka.
I thought that was Randy.
He's Working Fans' #1 fan is what I hear. The best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. I know he's AJ's #1 fan, so thanks for tuning in. This is Justin Del Rio from Nerds of Wrestling. Appreciate you letting me always spam your page with our stuff. He says, I saw Keith Lee wrestle in person a few times at some indie shows. He's crazy. So amazing. Keith needs to be champ. The rumor, as we reported last week, is for him, Drew, and Brock at Mania. So maybe he's just like, listen, I'm going to put you in a main event spot. I just want you to be – I want
slim down a bit.
You have to be able to work with a Brock and a Drew. I don't want to just – maybe he's not – listen, there's a couple moves that Keith did this week on Raw that were really bad. He tried that drop kick. He missed bad. Like there's some things he has to.
Well, now
you can get by with that in NXT. Now but you can't get by. NXT is a different audience than WWE.
Listen,
do you watch NXT regularly?
Listen, the fact that this is even happening is probably in Keith Lee's head.
Yeah.
And so now,
people's telling him
now he's fucking like nervous about it on a Raw.
Well, he has everybody telling him what.
And it's coming off from all different directions too. You got Triple H saying this thing because he's an NXT guy. Yeah, Vince saying this thing. You got this guy saying this thing. But just let the guy do what he does well.
Be himself.
Where's Bakley? It ain't often Bakley makes a good comment, and he did.
Let's not get carried away.
He did. Where the
maybe
hell is
his wife?
Guys, when I got trained by Adrian Street, and one of the first things he told me was that there's such a thing as doing too much in a match, and I think sometimes Keith Lee tries to put too many of his moves into a match instead of telling the story and using the moves that he's really good at.
Do you think that's the NXT thing? Because one of Chuck's things about NXT is he felt like they go all out every damn match. WWE, you want to keep that cliffhanger. It's why in Bold and the Beautiful has been on there for 50,000 years because every episode is a cliffhanger. It's like, what's next? Keith Lee goes out there, does all 20 of his moves, and it's like, this guy has nothing else. We've seen it every week, so we get spoiled. Like, there's what's new? Oh, he does a flip every week.
Well, one of the things you can think about also when it comes to WWE is who are the most successful wrestlers in WWE? You had your Hulk Hogan, your John Cena, your Bret Hart, your freaking guys that basically had 6 moves at the most and would use them and tell the same story every time. And that's what Vince likes, is that consistency to being able to play the story to the crowd. So if you're putting too much into the match, you end up actually hurting the match quality.
No, absolutely.
That's what he looks at.
I mean, I agree with that 100%. That Josh just said. When every match is if every match is equivalent to the Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25 match, you're not doing it right, because that was a one in a lifetime, one in a year match. And if you're doing that shit every Wednesday night, how do you top that? What's going to make your next show better or more exciting or more inclined? Like, you can't do that. If you go all out every night, you're just hurting your wrestlers, you're hurting your storylines, and you're hurting the overall product. And I'm not sure how we got to this topic, but
look, we'll kind of try to stay away from it, ending with some comments from people and get to our main thing, which is TLC. Mark Henry did Vince's sexual chocolate idea, got it over, and then Mark Henry was pitching like the Hall of Fame was all Mark Henry, and Vince bought into it because he earned Vince's trust. It's his company, it's his TV time, so he is, whether it's right or not, It is his company.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not considering kiss his ass either. Like, you know what I mean?
I will. I'm trying to get hired. We had TJ on here.
I know I'm not getting hired.
Listen,
that's a good point. We did have TJ on here.
Listen, dude, Raw needs help. But Del Rio, thanks for spamming. Nobody's ever thanked me for spamming their page. Normally I get kicked out of groups. So I appreciate you, bro. Joe, what do you guys think about the idea that WWE's been on the decline since Pat Patterson stopped being so involved? I don't know. They've been in decline for, I think, longer than Pat Patterson.
I would need dates on that. When did Pat Patterson stop
involved? Yeah, I would need specific dates on that one.
Damn it, Joe.
If it's from when he passed away, that's fucking bullshit to say. It's been 2 weeks.
I mean, I was going to say he's really slowed up the last couple of weeks. So
it's gotten really rough, man.
Like they got the worst rating ever. Coincidence? Right. We'll end the debate with Daniel Bockley here. I'm going to start calling him that. Would that be a Triple H versus Vince problem, though, because in NXT, Triple H asked them to do a certain thing? No, it's not, because I think Triple H understands Vince's way. If Triple H doesn't understand Vince's way of booking by now, then Triple H is just a complete idiot. He's not an idiot. Triple H does his way, Vince does his.
And they need to meet in the middle, because I really like the way Triple H is really good at matches and storytelling. Vince McMahon is obviously good at booking and getting shit over and making money. If they could meet in the middle, I feel like there is like a fucking dick eruption right there. If they could just figure that out.
Yeah, meet in the middle.
Yeah.
I think and you see when Triple H is booking SmackDown, that meet in the middle. When the NXT invasion, Vince wasn't there. He was stuck in Saudi, right? Triple H booked it. How great was that SmackDown? We talked about it last year as being the best SmackDown of the year. That's where Triple H meets in the middle. But we'll see.
Yep.
Randy, Josh, who do you think should go get better? So Nia Jax should live at the PC.
Nia Jax should be fucking
Absolutely.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
Nia Jax should live at the PC. Oh, she doesn't.
If Nia Jax is not related to The Rock, she does not have a job.
I agree.
I agree 100%.
Too.
Stick to TikTok, dude.
I was a Nia Jax fan, but Josh would always make comments. She's trying to really kill somebody. She really is, man.
Well,
I've really been a fan with her.
The best thing she did was get Becky that iconic pose. She got Becky over like no other.
Oh,
she broke her nose.
Yep.
I mean, that put Becky. That made the man
people.
By breaking her fucking face.
Yeah,
like that's not a good thing.
No,
like,
it's like it's organic though. Like that wasn't planned and it worked. It's crazy how things get over.
And then throwing Lana through 9 tables.
Austin 316 wasn't planned.
Well, and that's one way that Vince is overproducing. A lot of this stuff that happens that was huge is not fucking written 3 weeks ago in a fucking office.
Well, that's what she said about the table thing. She said the table thing was kind of funny until they started doing a countdown of them every
week.
I mean, and that's how organic is the way to go. Even as a podcaster, we fucking preach organic. That's how you win. Organic.
Do you think the table was a receipt to Rusev?
Yeah,
it was.
But
you mean Miro?
I still think he's still running around AEW because somebody broke his fucking video games. I can't get over it.
Yeah, I miss the old Rusev when he would just fucking crush. That was the good Rusev.
Me and Chuck went to a Raw where they had to scrap one of the opening segments for I forget why, but we saw Rusev and Reigns in about a 1 hour cage match. It took up the first hour of Raw, and it was great, and they worked really well. And it's a different topic, but I don't think Rusev was that misused.
I don't think he was.
But whatever. Different subject, different day. Before we get into our main topic, we are the buzz now. We have social media, new social media. We're everywhere. Speaking of TikTok, I think we actually have that becoming a thing here soon.
Oh, well, I'm not sure how to use it, but
me either.
We'll have to learn. I know the working fans will learn it because they're all hip to this new stuff.
Do you guys have like teenage daughters? Because they could fucking hook us up on TikTok.
I have a 21-year-old daughter. The other two are still virgins.
They're still what? That got a weird time. They're what?
No. I have a 22-year-old daughter. I'm pretty sure the other two guys are still virgins.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
All right, check us out and check out all our new social media platforms. We will be right back.
Get the Lambo car, house in the hills with the stars. Told you I'd raise the bar. Told you that I go far. Baby, it's crystal clear. I'm not a souvenir. I'm not an accessory. I'm a necessity. So come and check me out now. I'm a necessity. So come and check me out now.
So go and check us out now.
You don't even got to go nowhere. We're right here.
Damn right. Right. And we are a necessity to you every Thursday nights. Right here is a necessity.
I'm just looking forward to seeing Chuck dancing on TikTok.
Dude, that's definitely going to happen.
It's going to be a naked dance too, just to keep you all folks updated.
Oh, well, they got filters and shit. I was peeking through it. You can download actual music to dance to and like switch it together. I got a nasty Taste Wave mashup coming. Just wait.
You do.
Just wait. I've been talking to some of the women at the Buzz. You know, the shit show girls and Crystal. They all are familiar with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it. You're gonna get some epic Taste Waves answering me on day 100. But we're getting off
New
topic.
Year's Day 2021.
Immediately has a song called New Year's Day.
Guys, on a serious note, where can I get one of those hot sweatshirts like Yvonne's wearing?
We have do we have it on our
No. It's the Future of Design. I can send you the link. The Future of Design here in Ohio makes these. So they hook us up.
Ohio,
we have to pay for our own shit, but we'll get there.
I'll tell you what, that is a sick sweatshirt. If you guys put that out for sale, I'm pretty sure you can push those.
Oh, it's just for sale. We're not very prepared.
Yeah, so before you sell too many, let me talk to them because I don't want them just profiting for no benefit.
Sorry, I sell everything, so it's not.
We pay full price for our own merch,
Yeah,
so that's the starting point. Like, hey, we'll get there.
We used to sell merch that we made profit off of, and then the website sucks. We switched, but anyway,
the website kind of went under. You know, websites that go under. That's kind of a thing this into this year.
But Hurt Locker copies our merchandise too. The colors. Hurt Locker does.
And if you notice, the Buzz actually stole our colors. They're lucky that we are an anchor show here.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
no, it's good work, guys. Those colors are freaking awesome together. And thankfully the Buzz has our RSH on to steal some of the material from.
Damn right. And also AEW stole our fucking colors too.
We were doing that before
AEW.
And then people's like, you know, your color scheme's AEW. It's like, you realize we were around 40 episodes before AEW existed.
July 2019, fucking October 2019, motherfuckers.
Coincidence? I think not.
And Hurt Business loves our colors too. They come out to it.
Yeah, Hurt Business.
I call it the Hurt Locker like you do.
Nice.
That's my head too. I keep saying, Josh, like, what? I'm like, okay,
I'll use that segue.
Yep.
Hurt Business.
Yep.
Tag Team Championship match. So TLC's this Sunday. It's actually a pretty good card. I don't expect a lot of title changes, but we'll get into that as we go through these. This will be the third time they've competed for the Tag Team Championships at this point. New Day versus Cedric and Shelton.
Shelton Benjamin is still my
favorite
match.
I love it. I love it. AJ, you're the guest.
I think either the Hurt Business takes the belts or Shelton's gone from the Hurt Business. I don't know if you've noticed the little body language between him and Cedric, but every week he's giving the dirty looks to Cedric as Cedric steals the show, and there's a little bit of tension that they're building subtly there. So I think either they've got to take the belts at this point or something's going to happen.
Yvonne.
Agree with AJ. That's a really good point too. I've noticed with Shelton and Alexander, he's been looking at him really weird and giving him an eye because Alexander's been, the one winning.
He's been winning.
He's been winning. Shelton Benjamin has not been winning. I have them winning the belts or something's going to happen. I agree with that.
So you have them winning.
I do. Yep.
All right, Chuck.
I do.
The Hurt Business at this point, they need to win. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? They've been around for a while now. They're over as fuck. We all like the Hurt Locker now. I even call them the Hurt Business now most of the time, unlike Yvonne over here.
I know me this time.
So I just don't understand. I want the Hurt Business to win.
I do too.
I do too.
And there's no
point. I want
them
to win.
But at this point in time, they've been around. How long have they been a team now? A few months. So what's the point of already having internal issues, already having internal implosions and kicking people out? That's just a waste of time. So
the fact is, the New Day just doesn't need the belts at all. Whereas putting them on the Hurt Business gives them 2 more pieces of gold and makes sense.
Absolutely. So storyline wise, and just in general wise, there's no point for the Hurt Locker Hurt Business to lose this. So
if they come out with Hurt Locker shirts on, we're just fucking
I know,
because they took our color scheme. They have to take that out. I do like the fact that Lashley's finishing move is called the Hurt Lock. They got close enough.
It's close enough.
I think they're going to win as well. A New Day doesn't need the tag belts. They need to do something with that tag division on Raw. Because after these 2 teams, I couldn't tell you another one. The draft didn't really fix that. But I think third time is a charm.
Yes, it is.
Which segues to a guy who also needs gold. Big E, and we'll stick with the whole New Day narrative, right? Big E and Sami Zayn. It's not official, but it's expected to be made tomorrow on SmackDown. I think we can all agree that's probably going to be added to the card after last week where he chased them under the ring like two teenage kids running around.
Yep. Run around the ring.
All right, Chuck.
That's me.
Should Big E win? Is it time he finally gets some singles gold?
Big E should be.
Hold on, before I get in, did you see the Paul Heyman thing?
I did not.
You got to see that
on the SmackDown after show or whatever.
After I saw that, Big E's going over, and I think he's actually going to squash Sami Zayn.
I bet you he will.
All right. Anyway, back to you. My bad. Should he win?
Oh yeah, I think absolutely. Sami Zayn should lose. I like Sami Zayn a lot, but it's time to put Big E over as a singles competitor. And I heard about that Paul Heyman thing. He's like, New Day. Roman Reigns doesn't talk about the Shield.
Yeah, when Roman Reigns is in, the thing to take about it is he's like, you can be bigger than the New Day. And Big E's just looking at him like, whatever. And he's like, when Roman's fighting, how many people bring up Roman for remember the Shield?
Exactly.
And that he's like, that's how you can get. And then it ended with that, and Big E just looked dumbfounded, which looks like light bulb. Yep. You just think talking smack's not scripted.
And it's time for Big E to be. We've all been saying this since they fucking split up initially. Even before that, Big E's been around too since 2012, 2013.
He came out and beat the hell out of John Cena.
So it's time.
Remember, he had a Raw his first night.
So it is time. Finally for him to be on a singles competitor. I don't mind the jokey shit, but it's also time to be serious. And it's time because he's a big dude.
He got new music.
He's getting
his.
He can.
So
maybe this.
When Beyonce's on stage, how many people are talking Destiny's Child? Sometimes you got to leave the past in the past.
I do still like me some say my name, but but I do want Big E to whoop some ass.
I was always a Survivor person myself, but whatever. He should win. I think that promo might save us from Goldberg Reigns at Mania.
I fucking hope so.
I hope so.
Jesus
because that might have
Christ.
planted the seeds for Roman. Big E.
I can't watch another goddamn Goldberg.
The rumor is that it could be Goldberg and Reigns at Royal Rumble.
Hopefully, it's
at Royal Rumble. I'll take Rumble over
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Hopefully, it's a WWE main event on Hulu.
Now, that's where Keith Lee's fighting Ninja Garza right now. But we're not going back to that point. I'm going Big E. I think he squashes Sami Zayn. I think it's a squash. I think he comes out pissed off and all this stuff. I think Sami Zayn gets the upper hand tomorrow, embarrasses him, pisses him off. He beats the shit out of him Sunday and finally wins the belt. These are the two titles I see changing.
I can believe that. I'd be on.
Sami Zayn has made a fool out of Big E enough times. If you keep letting him do it, eventually Big E becomes a fool. At this point, you have to have Big E go over. Otherwise, you might as well just scrap Big E as a singles wrestler.
I agree. And Kelly Rowland murdered her cover of Wonderful Christmas Time, but she also murdered her performance in Freddy versus Jason, but whatever.
Okay.
Speaking of murdering it, that's what Joe does when he's looking at pictures of Beyonce.
Wow.
I got Big E going over, becoming champion, and eventually parting ways from New Day. Eventually.
Like all the way? Like no reunion, nothing?
Nope.
There'll be a reunion in like 2030.
Like Kofi and them's going to come over like the SmackDown for something. And Big E's like, not the time, guys, or something like that.
Yeah, I'd be
like
okay with
come
that.
like to blow them off, like, and then I'm sorry,
I'm busy. Yeah,
I'm busy, and it's like it's my time to shine, which it is. Big E's
I think,
time.
quite frankly, he should come out and actually squash the two of them instead of actually being all huggy and nicey. He needs to just put a squash on the two of them.
You could do that.
Well,
too.
you saw briefly when I think it was the Sheamus Big E street fight. New Day was backstage. It was their farewell or whatever. And they interrupted him, and he just kind of seemed a little irritated. Like, all right, guys. Like, they're all happy.
I remember that they hinted at it. And my problem with that, with what AJ just said, is it's good, but it's very similar to what Reigns did with the Usos at the beginning. And it's just like reusing the same storylines.
That's what we do. I mean, there's a 70-year-old man in face paint running around another.
But I mean, it'd be like the same storyline on the same show with two different groups. You know what I mean?
Well, luckily, it's going to be a while before we get there. New Day, unless they really don't stick to the draft thing, which
I just want to see more Big E like we saw in NXT when his first run in NXT. I want to see that Big E. Yeah. Get a 5 count, get a freaking be a mercenary and just hurt people.
I would dig that a lot. And he has the build. I mean, he's believable in that role.
I wish Hurt Business would have moved to SmackDown because I swear to God, Big E if you had him in there right now, he could be your world champion of that group. You could have him as world champ.
But there's been a new group. If we want a solo Big E.
That's fair. I just want to see him with the world title. I want him to go over Roman. I know it won't happen.
I agree.
But I'd love to see it. And they're so similar. And the Paul Heyman thing right there just planted a seed. Vince does do smart stuff like that.
Well, Paul Heyman does smart stuff.
Well, listen,
like that.
you plant seeds. So, like, obviously the Goldberg thing's probably what they're going to do, unfortunately. But if Goldberg breaks his nail getting up and opening the fridge because he's fragile,
busts his fucking head on a door like a dumb fuck.
They have a backup plan with Big E ready to go.
All ready to go. Yep.
Speaking of backup plans and tables, which I'm surprised it's in a tables match. I just think it's straight up, surprisingly. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Lana and Asuka. So the storyline here is Lana beat Nia Jax last week. Baszler and Jax took her out. And she has a mystery partner this week. And I'm going to lead this one because I'm going to rant.
Oh, shit.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be Charlotte. Woo!
But Josh thinking too.
So everybody's like, I'm talking Raw talk, whatever. They're like, okay, Andy and them's like, oh, we're blonde, our tits are fake, whatever. Here we are.
Hey, don't make fun of
and
blonde.
they're like, oh, we've talked to Asuka. First off, nobody talks to her because she talks like blah, 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 and nobody can talk to her.
And we just got banned in Japan. All right.
So that's the best Japanese they've ever heard.
Asuka talking to,
but so it's not going to be them. WWE's just trying to. Oh, it's going to be one of those two, right? It's going to be fucking Charlotte. Okay, it's going to be Charlotte. The bootleg bullshit Ric Flair music's going to play. Her and her giant penis be floating down the aisle, and Friday could be her manager.
It's very hard to beat Charlotte's finishing move of slapping people with her giant penis.
Yeah,
the dick slap.
That's how you win. That's what WWE's done to us most of the year. So you might as well smack me right here, like they have been all year.
You're excited.
So there's what's going to happen.
The signature is the boner. The finisher is the dick slap,
and they're going to win. All right.
I think she calls it the mushroom tap. I don't know.
I'm glad I didn't hear that. People around Vince making smart decisions. I think that's fair, Joe. Back to my rant. So, why would Charlotte intervene into this? Who took out Charlotte?
I don't know.
Nia Jax. Easy transition. Nia broke her arm. Whatever. She had to go get plastic surgery on her face. It's fine. So Nia took her out. So Nia took her out. Wrote her off TV. Easy transition. I don't like you, Asuka, but I need to get Nia back. They win the titles. They're not going to win the titles, which leads to them. Two people that aren't a tag team carrying belts, which is what WWE does, which is why Nia and Shayna Baszler have the belts right now. Which inevitably leads to an Asuka versus Charlotte match where Charlotte's going to win the belt, become the 39-time women's champion, even though she should be the 39-time world heavyweight men's champion. And that's
she can't help it. That good.
WWE, can't help it. We're not that dumb. It's Charlotte. We know it is. Don't tease Mandy Rose or Dana Brooke or somebody cool like Rhea Ripley who kind of. Any week, Rhea could leave NXT because she's putting people over right now. She put over Toni Storm last night. Sure. It could be Rhea. It could be somebody cool. You know that chick, Vanessa Bourne, who's been called up for 7 months now and just has – she's literally been there. They called her up 7 months ago. She's just sitting. Nice. But it's going to be fucking Charlotte. Ran over.
I'm cool, Charlotte, man. You know why?
You're cut off.
Do you know why it should be Charlotte?
Cut off your own mic.
Because she's money.
No, she's not. They cut her. They put her in NXT, and the ratings went lower.
He's never going to say nothing nice about Charlotte.
That's because NXT sucks.
Oh wow,
wow! NXT sucks. Holy crap!
NXT does. Do you guys want to see 18 fucking flips?
Yeah.
You watch NXT.
No, you watch AW.
Do you want to? Oh, that sucks too. Wednesday night sucks, except for the Wednesday night championship belt. But
you watched that match last night between Pete Dunne and freaking Kyle O'Reilly. Not a hell of a lot of flips.
Nobody saw that match because there's too much fucking hair in the way. Jesus, Pete Dunne.
Now I see. Now I see your issue here.
His hair is so disturbing.
Now I see your problem. Shawn Michaels your favorite because he has no hair now, isn't it?
Oh no, I like Shawn Michaels.
You can't take him seriously with no hair.
You're very hard to understand.
Seeing Lana beat Nia Jax I was actually impressed with.
Yeah,
that.
you jump off the couch like, oh my god, and then she got beat up, and you're like, shit.
Well, I was covering my eyes, like, oh gosh, she's gonna snap her ankle, and she did.
Are we gonna see Becky Lynch ever again? In the
she's had her kid. Yeah,
she's had her kid. Yeah.
I heard rumors that she wants to go do other stuff.
Everybody does other stuff and wrestling. Fair. Charlotte's in a movie.
That's a good point.
Alexa Bliss been off TV the last week because her and Charlotte are both being in the same movie.
What movie is it? I didn't realize Alexa Bliss wasn't on TV this week.
Or last week.
Aw, where was she at?
She'll be here Sunday.
What's she doing?
I forget what the movie's called, but she's going to be in it, so I'm watching it.
Fuck. All right.
Everything with Alexa Bliss is better.
Hopefully it's on.
It's a movie that Charlotte's going to be in, and I'm going to watch. It takes something very significant to make me tune in.
Is it a movie, or is it like a porn?
It's a movie. It's not a Pornhub movie. You know, those got pulled offline.
Like a million of them.
Yeah, you can actually check it out on Buzz After Dark.
Like 75 to like 7. It's rough. Xavier, your video's still there, bro. Unblock us.
It's verified. Don't worry
And
about
I agree with everybody. It's going to be Charlotte coming back. I mean, I'm a big Charlotte fan, but Charlotte don't need the tag titles. But
Charlotte needs all the
to
belts.
put it on her resume
She
of
needs
all
to-
everything else. Why not put it on the resume?
Charlotte needs the Universal title and the WWE Championship.
She needs to be Charlotte all.
It's like that picture I send to you guys of her with like her arms up and the belts are just like litters.
Yeah,
Like,
She
man.
can't
the
help
European
she's that
Championship,
good.
the old school IC title.
Her core championship belt.
European title.
But she could take the 24/7
And I
belt.
have her beating Asuka, taking her title. Should be Charlotte 2 belts.
There you go. I dig
Or
that.
Flair 2 belts.
That's
Josh,
what I'm
come
talking
on,
about.
Josh.
Woo!
AJ, are you ready for this grabbing feud of Asuka and Charlotte are the tag champs? Yet they're feuding with each other. Will this work? Will they stab
Who
each
up?
other in the
Who
back?
up? Wait.
You want to talk about milk now?
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that I've seen this before, but me and Dave were at SmackDown for the last time Charlotte beat Asuka for a world title.
Nice.
So unfortunately, I've literally seen it live.
Undefeated streak at
She-
WrestleMania
she's
as
on-
well.
she's on
Hey, remember when she
beater,
ruined
yeah.
Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania? Do you see why I'm not excited she's back?
Well, she can't.
And you think the Raw ratings are bad now? Just
The
wait.
Raw Women's
Just wait.
Division is bad. Charlotte back. And Asuka has beaten everybody for that title. On the
I love how you try to be the voice of reason.
I
But
think,
you're wrong
I think
here.
Charlotte will bring in the ratings.
She would.
I think-
That
It
was
could
the-
be worse. You could have to watch Carmella attempt to wrestle.
Hey,
Yeah.
Your
there's nothing wrong
segue is
with
brilliant
Carmella.
because that is next.
Carmella, don't talk about Carmella.
And I already know you're answering my question, but whatever. So last week, SmackDown, Carmella fought Sasha, but obviously she had no intention of finishing
Fought.
the match.
Like,
She
it's-
smashed her champagne over her back, winked at her boo thing, Corey
That's what she
Graves,
gets.
and it was a pretty intense ending.
It was.
So AJ, I know your answers. I'll start with you.
Oh God!
Are you
Please
invested
let
in
it be
this feud?
Sasha Banks.
Are you
Please let it
invested
be
at all?
Sasha. I cannot stand Carmella. I think Carmella and Lana are the 2 worst female wrestlers in the business right now.
sexist
And
blondes.
the idea that either one of them actually are on WWE TV is a waste of time.
Who do you
Sure.
got? You say you have Carmella winning this?
No. Sasha Banks in a walk.
Okay. Joe said Charlotte won't fix Raw. Yeah.
She will. fix it.
100%.
She
agree.
will.
No,
she
she
won't
won't.
fix it, but
She
she'll
will-
put a
the
Band-Aid
ratings-
on it.
No.
Yeah.
It's like
Look at Raw's women's division now. What are they doing to help
it's
her?
like
Nothing.
what's the opposite of fix a
So,
flat to fix a
nothing.
tire?
So
Charlotte's
bring
the opposite.
Charlotte
Charlotte's
back
like
to
that
help
second nail that just like completely deflates it.
She's the next pothole.
Yeah. Right,
I don't
so
know.
Carmella,
Oh,
Sasha.
So here's the deal with Carmella. She's fucking worthless. I don't know why.
I thought you were going to say she's fucking hot.
Well, she is hot. She's hot. But I can go to Pornhub and watch hot bitches jump around. I don't
Not
need
as
to-
many.
You know, I don't deal with. I mean, I don't care about the hotness when it comes to like women's wrestling
Okay.
because they're all hot for the most part. So it's just like it doesn't
Except
matter.
Charlotte. Yeah, we agree.
Her gimmicks are the same. Like now she has this new guy. She used to have James Ellsworth. Now she has this new guy. It's the same fucking gimmick, but she's supposed to be repackaged. What the fuck?
See, if we have James Ellsworth on, we can ask him what he thinks about her replacement.
We can absolutely, and it's the same bullshit, same fucking skid. Just a few months later, and her end. That's why I did this a minute ago. She can't wrestle anybody. Her punches to the face look weaker than Bailey's, and coming from me, that fucking says something. And like, I
Who
like
used a champagne bottle to the lower back?
I thought that was a pretty cool spot. Actually, I thought that was kind of.
Anybody could do that.
That would be the
Anybody
way
could
you like
hit
it.
somebody with a bottle. She could have picked up a chair or something. She picked up
I
a
like that quite a
I
bit.
did.
There was
too.
a spot also, was that on Raw where somebody threw a chair at their head, or was that on NXT last night? There was a spot where dude just launched the chair,
Right at his
smacked the guy
head.
right
Right
at.
in
Was
the
that
head.
NXT last night?
I think it was NXT.
Was it Ciampa? Dude, he launched it, and I was like, I
He
didn't think
launched
they
it
were
and
supposed
smacked
to
him right in
do
the head.
that
He did.
anymore.
But just imagine, like, you've seen champagne bottles. That would hurt like a motherfucker if they got smashed over your bare back.
Yeah, and you'd be pissed. if
She
you
was
just-
bleeding.
You just bought it.
She was.
I would be, if it was football, I'd be very pissed. It's
Yeah.
like $6 bro.
I've watched you drink champagne bottles before.
Oh, there it goes down easily.
Uh-oh.
At least three bottles in a half an hour. That's
Yeah,
easy.
I remember. I was there on New Year's.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, man. So like, obviously, I want Sasha Banks to win. However,
You're picking Carmella.
I don't think Sasha's gonna win, dude. I know. That hasn't happened
He
yet.
agrees with me. I'm partial.
And then not because I want Carmella to win. I think I'm trying to get in Vince McMahon's head, and I said this last week, but Snoop Dogg is going to be at AEW in January, and Sasha Banks is related to Snoop Dogg, and Vince is a petty old man, And Vince will fucking take that personal like he does. And he will take that belt off Sasha thinking that's going to like bother Snoop Dogg. In reality, Snoop Dogg don't give a flying fuck. But that's how Vince works.
I believe Sasha does need a longer run, though, so she might actually win this one. I think that because she's lost on her first defense so many times, with this only being her second defense of the belt, I think she needs to actually get this win.
I don't know, man. And it is her, because she actually... She lost the match, didn't she?
She did by disqualification.
Right.
Yeah, she did.
So she lost.
Like Friday?
Yeah.
She attacked Carmella.
Sasha Banks
She
lost.
did. She lost.
So she still hasn't won a title defense.
Well, she
by
beat
definition.
Bailey the week after.
Oh, fair
They
enough.
did that rematch.
But she lost, and
right.
she retained the title, but Carmella won by.
All right, Yvonne, set us straight. This is your shit right here.
AJ,
if you pick Carmella, I'm cutting you.
I am. You know I don't like.
Oh man,
AJ, I don't like Sasha Banks. I've never liked her.
Oh.
Get her.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been a fan of Carmella since day one.
You're not gonna have that Wednesday night game, which is very long.
I'm being honest.
You don't watch Mandalorian?
No,
I don't either.
We never.
Sasha Banks, I respect.
Is she playing Baby Yoda?
I know who Baby Yoda is. We just never watched Star Wars.
No, I've never seen that in my life.
I watched the first episode of Mandalorian. I was like, I don't really give a fuck. I'm a casual Star Wars fan.
I respect what Sasha Banks does, but with her in title reigns, it seems she's not good with it. She can't keep, like Bailey pointed that out. When it comes to her having a title, she loses it the next week. Her feud with Carmella and her, I'm invested in it because Sasha's let Carmella get in her head so bad. And you can notice on SmackDown, the contract signing, Sasha Banks like, where's the contract? Where's the contract? And here comes Carmella's manager. And then, losing the match this past Friday for the title. Imagine if it was reversed, if there was no rules, Carmella would have won. So Sasha Banks needs to get her head in the game and quit letting Carmella get to her.
Sasha's going to win.
Think so?
This ain't even a question. For me, the easiest match on the card.
She needs this,
They're doing a lot. Charlotte's kind of like the John Cena. Is like they're like, I'm untouchable. Flip. Like, all she's not doing is rapping. That's what those dudes in AEW are doing now. They're legitimately ripping off John Cena. Even the Young Bucks was like, hey,
wait a minute.
We had a guy that did that gimmick before, right? But anyway.
What does Charlotte do with this?
Carmella. Did I say Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
We know you're in love with her. We know.
I'm still regularly and hostile about it.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. Yvonne put out probably the best debate that you possibly could for why Carmella should win. However, I just still can't do it. I need to see Sasha Banks win this match.
Well, unless that guy helps
I got it.
Like Ellsworth. James Ellsworth wants to come on the show. We're still debating.
He does.
Because he doesn't take layaway, but we'll see. I think it'd be a cool time to ask him what Carmella, if she wins, we're bringing him on.
Deal.
There we go.
She wins because then that'd be and makes sense why he's here. Like, hey, what's the difference between, whatever, we'll get there.
What do they even call that guy now? What was the word they were using? Something fucking dumb.
James Ellsworth.
No, like
his nickname.
They were
no, not Ellsworth. AJ, don't say that. He won't come on.
Carmella's new guy.
I don't know.
They were calling him a weird name.
I don't know.
Like it's like title. Like I don't know.
She called him Baby, and I thought that was weird because Graves on commentary. But
she winks at him too. Yeah. Here's
my match. Firefly Inferno match was announced earlier today.
Whatever the fuck that means.
So it's an Inferno match. Right? It's an Inferno match, which we all know what an Inferno match is, but with the Firefly twist, which I trust Bray.
Sure, I do too.
And I imagine his puppet's going to be popping around and doing stuff like that, and it's going to be very interesting.
And we'll probably see we'll see the funhouse burn down, I bet. All
right, so what'd you guys think of the segments on Raw? Because I thought the hide and seek thing was funny, and I love your boy Riddle back there, like, hey, bro. He's like, no, it's Bray.
I'm gonna show
so funny. Yeah, no, it's Bray.
He's like, I love to chill with you, bro. And he's like, no, you don't want to come where I am.
He had the bunny signed to Carrot.
Yeah,
he's a big fan of the rabbit.
The whole hothead zoned out thing shows that Vince kind of sometimes knows.
Yeah, I agree.
He's kind of in touch a little bit.
Well, whoever is selling it to Vince is doing it in the right way to make Vince like it.
Reports are Vince loves Riddle.
I'm growing. When I saw him talking to Bray, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, so Bray. so that segment ends with Bray seeing his old rocking chair, and he sits down, and Orton throws him in a box, sets it on fire, which I'm assuming is where the Inferno idea came from. Then the Fiend pops out, chokes him out. I thought it was a really cool segment.
That was cool.
So, how long is it before the bunny catches fire, though?
Oh, that's my favorite one is the bunny rabbit.
He's already died like 8 times.
Yeah.
Josh playing. He's like
the rabbit's like Kenny.
It's been in the blender. It's been
He's on like 6 different Bray Wyatt shirts for getting devoured.
Come on, dude. Alexa Bliss poison or food. Or
how long before Bray Wyatt looks at Randy and is like, "You bastard, you killed Bunny."
He could. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
You bastard.
All right, so what do you guys expect from this? Fiend, I mean, the go home, that rule is if you have all the momentum, you normally lose. But can they really put Orton over the Fiend?
I don't know.
That's a tough one. I mean, it is the Fiend versus Randy Orton.
The Fiend's only lost to that piece of shit Goldberg.
And the fact that it is a weird match like that.
A gimmicky kind of match.
Like, how do you win? So if you catch on fire, you lose, right? So if the Fiend catches on fire, that's not really
making it look weak.
Yeah, right.
Could he do the Goldberg thing where he just springs back up and it's like, oh my God, he's not on fire anymore?
If I was a betting man, if they really want Randy Orton to win this match for whatever reason, they'll have the Fiend be on fire while choking out Randy Orton. So he technically loses, but he's a fucking on fire like Jason Voorhees.
Badass like visual too.
It would be. So
I see the Fiend winning in this one. I see him pulling it off because Randy Orton got the win the last time they actually wrestled in that cinematic match. I think that this time the Fiend's actually going to take it home.
Could be. I mean, I think the Fiend will probably win too.
I'm slightly biased in this one, but I'm going with the Fiend as well.
Yeah.
He needs it. And the craziest thing is, AJ, I want your perspective because we've talked about this last couple of weeks. The Fiend really has nothing for Mania right now. Edge and Orton, right? Looks like Drew and Sheamus is looking like the plan. They're doing something there, as Chuck pointed out way before I even noticed it. It was like over a month ago at this point. I think Drew and Sheamus might be that match. Or Keith Lee and Brock. There's still a story to be told there.
That'd be fun.
Because I think Sheamus might get the Rumble. So, like, Drew's kind of mapped out. But what would you do with the Fiend for Mania? Because he's not – I thought Taker, but he retired. It looks like for real this time. What would you do? What would you do with Bray? He's your top draw on Raw.
I got to tell you, this is a tough one because they haven't really set him up for anything after this.
No, he's just
there's nobody down the line. Now, there is one thing that they could do going forward. You could have a setup where he gets the best of Randy Orton this time, and then Randy Orton kind of attacks him and does stuff down the line, and they might be setting up like a giant blow off at WrestleMania.
Or you could throw in Edge.
Edge could come back and do it, but
I wouldn't want to see it.
To me, the best thing about this storyline is the build of Alexa Bliss. I think that that's where the tie-in comes in. I think that the Fiend's going to get the better of it this time. Randy Orton sometime around Rumble is going to do something to Alexa Bliss, and I have a feeling they're going to build for Randy Orton and the Fiend back at WrestleMania.
No, man, I can't. It's December.
What about
March, April? That's too many months.
What if Cross and Scarlett call him up after Rumble?
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, that will change things.
You don't have to put just because Cross is back in NXT now. We talked earlier before the show, and we talked to AJ about it as well. Priest and Cross. I'm perfectly cool if Cross comes up at like the Rumble, and like he can get eliminated by somebody really relevant. Like I don't even know who the fuck the favorite to win the Rumble is. I think technically right now Vegas it's Big E and Bianca Belair are the two favorites to win, which I'd be okay with both of them. That's booking two young stars and putting them in a great role. But what's going to happen is Charlotte will fucking win the men's and the women's Royal Rumble. But anyway,
I hope so.
I have a feeling that they're going to set up for Cross versus freaking the Prince going towards WrestleMania weekend.
Do you think that's Demon?
Yeah, I think that that's the first time we're going to see the Demon since it's been gone, and I think we're going to see the Demon versus whatever the hell Cross is supposed to be, whether it's Hell Incarnate or whatever it is.
I'd be okay with that. I figured that would be throw it at the wall, see if it sticks. I'm with you. I don't know what Bray does at Mania, and it's very troubling to me because you think of WWE, it's Roman, Drew, and Bray. Yes, Orton's great, but
he is great.
He's always just kind of been there.
Yeah, he's
your
kind
top
of
guys are those three guys. Right. Roman's got a plan, which leads us to Joe's question. When does The Rock return to Mania? If not this year, because of the fans, like you said, I don't know, but he might. John Cena did.
He could.
Cena wouldn't come back because there was no fans.
Cena's different from The Rock, though.
Yeah, he's better.
Well,
and his movies are better, and he's resurrecting a shitty franchise that was going down the shitter because of The Rock.
Are you talking about the Fast and the Furious?
I am.
You're fucking ridiculous.
You can't see him.
I just watched the Fate of the Furious this past weekend.
You know the difference between The Rock and John Cena? Cars can hit John. They can't see him.
Oh, Jesus.
Here's something we haven't thought about. If The Rock does come back and he goes against Roman Reigns, Could we see a rematch between Goldberg and Bray and the Fiend?
God, I fucking hope
I
not.
hope not.
Jesus, no, because Goldberg can't do it.
I'm not saying it's what I want to see, but think about it.
Throwing Goldberg, I'm down for that.
Well,
I don't want to see it, but he owes Goldberg a receipt for that fucking.
That's what I'm saying. He put Goldberg over big time.
I don't think so, man.
I could see that at Mania.
I think it's going to be Reigns versus Goldberg.
Yeah, because
unfortunately,
storyline wise, it makes more sense because they were supposed to fight last year. Goldberg's on the bump.
They're already setting it up, and
I'm trying to think, man. Yeah. I'm thinking of Raw. There's a guy just lingering out there that he could feud with because AJ Styles.
It could be Styles. He
hasn't fought with AJ yet.
He's not going to be.
Obviously,
AJ doesn't really have a plan. He's not winning.
He's not winning. He's not winning Sunday, so it could be Styles.
It could also get interesting with that big dude also on the outside.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt for once might be the underdog with that big dude.
You know that we brought that up. I would really like a Bray Wyatt versus Styles. You know,
that's new,
right?
We haven't seen that.
That's very fresh. And Styles
that means it probably won't happen.
Fact.
For business stuff. Haven't seen it. I mean, I don't know. He could. I think at some point they're going to
the Fiend
have
versus
Fiend.
The
I think at some point the Fiend's actually going to start recruiting other people into his stable besides Alexa.
Yeah.
Because I think Nikki will be there at some point. It's not going to be the Wyatt family. I think he's going to just take people that are troubled and do what Retribution doesn't do and actually get them over. But
you know who would work with the Fiend is Killian Dane from NXT. Nikki Cross's actual real life.
That's how you get Nikki in too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You get Nikki in there, you get Killian Dane in there. That's a pretty good combination for a little stable.
Yeah,
it'd be fun. Absolutely,
that is actually a very good idea, and that makes a lot of sense. The other rumor is Beth Phoenix and Edge versus Bray and Alexa.
Not Beth Phoenix.
I don't want that.
I don't like Beth Phoenix.
I don't like intergender matches.
I'd rather have Orton and Edge in the I Quit that's rumored.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't like the matchup of Beth Phoenix versus Alexa. There's just way too much size difference there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Realistically, Alexa would never beat her.
She wouldn't now.
I'm not sure I could beat Beth Phoenix.
That's fair.
She was in a man's Royal Rumble, so that's pretty legit.
That's fucked up. And Charlotte can't be in one because it's offensive. That's really rude. And
Charlotte, it wouldn't be fair because her dick would be bigger than the guys.
That's a good point.
That's a mental image that'll scare off the rest of the people watching right now.
With you, Josh,
so what do you guys got? I got Fiend. AJ got Fiend. Yvonne?
I got Fiend. I'm an Orton fan.
And Yvonne's an Orton fan.
But if Orton would win, I could maybe see a rematch. Maybe.
Yeah, there might be more.
And like AJ said, Alexa, you throw her involved. I think she's going to play a big play, or like Orton's going to RKO her, or something's going to happen.
What if they throw a curve and Fiend wins the Rumble?
I was just sitting
because listen, you don't put the Fiend in the Rumble if he doesn't win it.
That's a good point.
You're going to throw him out, even though it's not a pinfall. But
I would like to bring up something. Randy Orton, by the way, this is the best Randy Orton that I've seen in his 20-year career. I think at this point he has tuned into his character as good or better than anything I've ever seen, and he's looking phenomenal.
He is.
He is.
I agree with that 100%. I've been saying that since this whole year. He's been the best he's been since Evolution.
The vicious, crazy. There's not even words to describe Orton.
And he's into it. And there's some jackass who used to work for that old company that writes for another company. It doesn't matter. That I read his review the other day, and he goes, "Well, Bray still can't wrestle, and he's irrelevant, and he's making Orton bored."
Oh, please.
I mean, what screen are you? You need to chase your duck and figure out what the hell you're actually watching.
Yeah.
Well, that's why that writer's irrelevant and he's not on the bugs.
Yeah. So Randy's very invested, and if you've done research, Randy loves Bray, and he was a big advocate of Bray back in the day. But Vince wanted Randy to go over and didn't think Bray was doing enough with that title, and that's why he took the belt off of Bray, and that's why that never went nowhere. Randy's very invested. Randy's had I agree with AJ, the best year of his career in a long time. His feud with Edge was great. They booked the greatest wrestling match ever and actually used it as the fucking tagline. And I feel like they actually hit it.
They did.
Yeah.
We have to plug this, or Benison will cuss at me in British. But this Saturday, me and Chuck are going to be on Armchair Wrestling doing their year-end award show. And I'll be honest with you, that's in my finalist for match of the year.
I could agree with that, man. Like, I haven't really thought about what I'm doing yet, but that could be up there.
And you think of match of the year, Bray versus Daniel Bryan strap match was legit. The Firefly Funhouse, if that's a match, whatever, that's in the discussion as well. So a lot of these matches that people remember, Bray's in him, so he's kind of relevant. I'm just throwing that out there.
Sure.
Guys, to do a little plug for the network too, if you're a wrestling fan and you're not tuning into the buzz, you're missing out on a lot between RSH, between the Working Fans podcast and Armchair Wrestling. You're missing out on so much wrestling knowledge and action and talk. You got to be tuning into the buzz.
Yeah, dude, you got Tyler Peters breaking out all these opinion pieces and breaking news, and he's going to talk to him earlier. He's going to do a TLC prediction article of his own after SmackDown tomorrow, so he can verify if any more matches are added. So,
with the knowledge that Daniel Backley brings from New Japan Pro Wrestling, I mean, you've got a network here where we cover all the bases.
Yeah. You ain't going to find wrestling coverage here unless you like that Meltzer dude, but he's too busy out buying skinny jeans at fucking what's that place called? The Gap.
That's what's the
Gap.
He's buying them.
Don't say Hot Topic. I like that store. Okay.
He's buying them in different colors. And
it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
Fucking 80-year-old men with cut jeans. I don't understand.
And he's wearing different colors.
Oh my
too.
hope dad's not watching.
Not either. He has a couple.
Anyway, Drew McIntyre versus Chuck's favorite, AJ Styles, and his 7 foot tall bodyguard. Who I actually dig the fact they put him with him anyway.
That's funny. Yeah, it's cool.
I got Drew. It's like it's going to be a great match. It's a TLC match, so you're going to see stuff. The big guy will probably play a role, but I don't see them taking the strap off Drew.
Nah, not really.
Unless Sheamus interferes.
Nah, it's going to be McIntyre's winning.
Or do you see the Miz interfering?
Do I see a cash in?
Okay.
No.
Or Miz is coming out, or Morrison could just.
There could be. There could be because
Morrison can randomly come out.
There might be
on Raw. They were together. Yeah. You know, they could interfere, but I just think Drew Claymore's in both.
Yeah, they'll probably be like a teaser or whatever.
Yeah,
but it ain't happening.
There's more meat on that Sheamus Drew bone.
Right.
I got Drew too.
I absolutely have Drew, and I don't think Miz is going to be successful. I think he's going to be one of the ones who's not successful when he cashes in, and it's that's just a feeling that I got right now.
You know how I'd book this? I'd have AJ win with help, and then I'd have Drew Claymore Miz cash in his money in the bank and win his belt back. And then you have the whole thing. Drew, you never won it. Take it from me, bitch. I'm Drew McIntyre.
That could happen.
The ref, you're not the money in the bank. I'll Claymore you in your fucking face. Ring the bell. Drew wins. I think that adds something intriguing. Monday Night Raw, I'm tuning in to see what the hell happened. They need anything right now.
They need anything.
The thing about Raw back in the day is I was always curious about something next week. Right now, I'm tuning in to watch Bray and Alexa. That's why I tune in Monday nights and waste 3 hours of my life. And other people look at the ratings. Ratings don't lie. Granted, we talk about it all the time as regards like AEW versus NXT. Ratings don't mean everything to us, but for TV networks they do. But right now, Raw's not been great outside of a few segments. I'm intrigued by that. Drew lost, but won. He cashed the money in the bank. Wait, what the hell? And I think one thing that hurts WWE back in the day when wrestling pay-per-views were $55, not everybody got to watch it. So they're tuning in Monday to see what actually happened. Now they're conveniently on a network for $10 or 30 free days, which somebody could honestly get it at Chamber and watch Chamber and Mania.
Right.
Yeah.
That cliffhanger ending's not there. Who won? Oh shit! Because I remember tuning in like Stone Cold won the belt. How'd he beat The Rock with Vince in his corner? I have to tune in and see. They lost that as well because the network makes it way too easy for us to see who won.
And the internet in general,
I read the dirt sheets, but Stone Cold won. He hit Vince with a sledgehammer in the head, then stunned Stephanie. Like, I want to see that live.
Well, you can go on YouTube right now.
Well, it doesn't help now that they have a pay-per-view every 3 weeks that they have to build to now also. So everything becomes predictable. It's
really hurt. There's no cliffhanger. I feel like that'd be an interesting way to end it. And that'd get the briefcase off the Miz, which, like AJ said, I feel like that's a much more attractive solution than just having Miz unsuccessfully cash it in.
That being said, man, we've already had the briefcase move from one person. How many people are getting?
He's not moving it. He's taking it. He'd be the first one that actually just takes the fucking thing.
When Miz cashes in, Morrison's going to cost him.
I do too, but I can see that a mile away.
And I see Morrison getting it somehow. Morrison needs something. I mean, I like him and Miz as a tag
Listen,
team,
so Money in the Bank is in May. They need to do. They're going to get to the point where that year's about done.
They're going to have to take.
Is he going to be the first one that doesn't cash it in that year and loses it?
That's still amazing. Long time though. We have January, February, March.
But you're on the road to WrestleMania. Do you think Miz is going to interrupt any of their plans?
I mean, that
takes you up to April.
If it's part of their plan, yeah. I mean,
that gives you a month because I don't think Miz.
Is Miz going to end up main event in WrestleMania?
It won't be the first time.
Seth Rollins did at WrestleMania.
He did.
He could. He cashes in on Drew as he fights Keith. And it is a triple threat if it's Keith Lee, Rock, and Drew.
The only way I want to see The Miz go over is if for some reason Goldberg gets a title shot with Reigns. He beats Reigns for the title, and Miz comes out and gets Goldberg. That's the only way I want to see that.
I would too.
I agree with that.
Saying to keep the belt off of Goldberg.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No, we're not talking about his colorful clothing. It's holes in pants, which I'm firmly against all of that.
Hey, I have holes in my.
Yeah, she has holes in her pants right now. It's 22 degrees outside.
Not all my pants have holes.
Like, that's why I'm the best dressed in the family because my clothes match, are coordinated, and there's no holes in them.
How it goes.
When I was younger, I got made fun of in school for having holes in my clothes. Nowadays, people pay
everybody
expensive ass prices
compliments.
to have holes in their
less
clothes.
material.
It just confuses me. Nothing bad against it.
I get compliments on my
But
stuff.
Dave Meltzer wears them, and he's actually. And yeah, we're not going to get into
You're
Dave
bottom
Meltzer's
of the
hobbies.
fashion list.
Listen,
Me,
you stop. This ain't
Dad,
Total
you and
Divas.
Mom are somewhere down.
This ain't Total Bellas. Calm down.
I don't watch Total Bellas.
Yeah, I'm not shopping at Express for men. That's not my line of clothing. I don't need holes in my clothes.
And all the clothes are there.
I don't shop. I haven't bought new clothes about 2 years. So
My body weight fluctuates. Back to the topic. Everybody with Drew?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I know where we're going. Mom, shut up. It's past your bedtime. It's after 7. Another title match, which I'm invested in this feud, even though the outcome, I feel like we're all going to go the same way here. Roman Reigns versus KO. The best thing to come out of this for me is welcome KO back to the main event scene where you have been missed because some guy named Goldberg ruined it for him a couple years ago.
That fuck keeps getting brought up tonight, man.
He ruined KO's reign. He ruined KO as a main eventer after Jericho got him to that spot.
Yeah, man.
And then he beat Bray at Saudi. So, yeah, Goldberg has ruined two of the best things WWE's had going for the last 5 years. But Roman's going to win. I think KO, it's one of those things he's going to get way more over and not have to go over.
Right.
I think it'll be a great match. The story's great with the Usos. Maybe since Sami Zayn loses, he integrates himself into this a little bit to give KO some kind of partner. They're best friends in real life. Was his best man at his wedding.
Sure.
Yeah.
And KO could easily go. He's babyface, but he's a tweener at best. He's a tweener at best.
I agree with that, man. And like, I really like Kevin Owens too, and it sucks knowing that he's not going to win this match. But at least he is back in the main event. He's actually doing cool shit again.
You know, this is his first match, not on our pre-show pay-per-view in like 3 pay-per-views.
Fucking finally. Like, who? Finally. Why? How did he piss on Vince's fucking cereal? Like, when did that happen?
I blame Goldberg.
He's been getting shit on for when was that? Like 2017? Like, Jesus, for 3 years he's just been getting shit on.
Kevin Owens brings us back to what we were talking about in the beginning of this podcast, how we were talking about Vince has certain things that he sees and doesn't see. And for whatever reason, he doesn't see it with Kevin Owens. And it's a shame because Kevin Owens is one of the best, if not the best performers in the WWE right now. So it pisses me off.
Same. I agree with all of that. Because like even when I was watching SmackDown the other day, Danae was working on the table and he was doing his thing on SmackDown. She came out and started watching. She's like, and I say it verbatim here. It's like if he was on TV more, I'd watch it more. Like she loves Kevin Owens. She's on the wrestling.
Yeah, she was pretty pumped because we saw the highlight reel when we went to see Raw that night. She was a big fan of that, and she's a big fan of Enzo and Cass.
During that time period when Kevin Owens was Universal Champion, that was the most that Danae's been invested in wrestling because of Kevin Owens.
Yeah, she Kevin Owens.
I like that he wears my beach gear to the ring.
There you go. He got me your indie scene, didn't he?
KO's a beast.
He is,
and he deserves way better than what he's getting. And I understand Reigns is hot, and you're not going to take the strap off of him. But I think this is a great way. You could put him in a main event program still after this. You can feud with the Uso kid, him and Zayn versus the Usos. The other one's coming back. I think it's Jay's one now. So Jimmy's coming back in January. There's your tag team feud. There's two legit tag teams on SmackDown to go with the Street Profits, who I don't think I put on here. But I don't know if they're fighting Ziggler and Rude at tomorrow or at TLC. But I feel like if they do, it'll be a pre-show.
Probably.
Because it's been the least relevant out of this whole card. But the tag team...
If Big E starts crushing people and starts doing more of a heel turn, I'd love to see him versus Kevin Owens with both of them just pulling no punches.
I agree. That'd be badass.
That could be a good that's a good rub for Big E too, working with KO.
Oh yeah.
Because KO, talk about athletic big guys that Vince, Keith Lee, look at KO. He does sentons, he does rolls, he doesn't do flips, but he He's from NXT as well.
Just
think of the booking of KO when he came up compared to Keith Lee. KO came up. Who did they put him with? John Cena. First thing he did, powerbomb John Cena. Beat John Cena. Vince wasn't as sold. Cena beat him. He worked. Back then they had live events though. Kevin Owens was working 5 days a week with John Cena on live events. Chemistry. That's why I think the Keith Lee thing's not as big of a deal. KO is another good example of somebody that worked out. But not having live events really hurts them, I think, more than people think. That's where you get all your chemistry. TJ said it last week, or I forget if it was this time or the first time we had him on. It sucks not having live events. The chemistry's not there like it normally is. Coming from a former performer, which AJ, you could attest to from back. I mean, if you're working
if you're not working in front of a crowd, even if it's a crowd of 20 people, if you're not working in front of a crowd, you can't feel what's happening in the ring. Right. You have to feel the oohs and the ahs and the little old lady in the front row who looks terrified because her favorite wrestler on the card is getting beat up. You get so much of a feeling, so much of a sense, and you can't get those nuances without the live crowd.
That's fair. I believe that, and it's hard to imagine what they're doing each week. I think the TVs probably help, and the brought in sounds probably help. Like TJ said, the first night with
but the problem with the TVs is, and TJ's not going to say this because he works for the WWE. The problem with the TVs is that a lot of what the reactions are on the TV is being scripted ahead of time.
Oh,
they're telling people on the TVs what to say. Whereas with a live crowd, you don't know what you're going to get.
Sure, that makes sense, but it's still better having noise than no noise at all. So
definitely.
But it's just, it's rough to watch, especially the first few weeks were really rough without the audio.
Oh, absolutely.
So Bray just tweeted, "Dear Randy, it's all A and it's a red circle. One ending was just another beginning. The angel with the burnt wings is waving you on home. You can't kill it. Hashtag WWE TLC." And the picture is Randy standing outside of the Wyatt compound.
Oh, shit.
With his arms up.
I thought you were going to say he just tweeted, "Chuck, you're blocked."
Oh, dude.
All right, scared.
He better not set Orton.
Bray better not block the RSH account. If you're going to block his personal Twitter, not the RSH one.
To be fair, I'm not, as far as I know, I'm not banned from anybody on Twitter. That's a Facebook.
I'm not either.
That's fair. Thankfully, there's no groups on Twitter.
Right?
I'm just good with Twitter with wrestlers.
All right, so we all got Roman.
Oh, absolutely.
What you guys expectations for this pay-per-view? Me and Chuck talked, and Yvonne talked last week. TLC is kind of the throwaway because it's the pay-per-view before the Royal Rumble, which is technically the road of WrestleMania.
Right.
What's your expectations, AJ, for this show this week?
Oh, my expectations is to be let down and to not. If I go into it with too much expectations, I'm not a fan of the gimmick pay-per-views. I don't like War Games. I don't like TLC, Hell in a Cell. I think that those are matches that should be specifically for a card and should be blow-off matches and important matches. So when you make a whole card with that name, to me, I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
I agree with that. I've never been a fan of that either, especially with Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and Hell in Cells don't mean anything now.
No, back in the day, man, they were. I think of the Triple H Cactus Jack match. Like those are always matches that would end the feud. That's it. You can't go any more than this. And now it's a gimmick and it's fucking pointless. Now they have red cages. What the fuck.
All you have to think about, Chuck, is the first time you saw a TLC match, whether it was the Edge and Christian or whatever your first TLC match was that you saw, and compare it to how you feel now when you see one.
Absolutely. I remember I saw the very first TLC match actually live. My parents let me get that pay-per-view and it was fucking phenomenal. And now it's just like a throwaway. What the fuck? The last thing that actually happened that I can remember, I remember last year's. I remember John Cena beating Brock Lesnar, even though Brock Lesnar beat the fuck out of him at his return in 2012.
Yeah.
So they don't matter. They don't mean anything at all. That being said, though, this one looks fun and it has Bray Wyatt, and I like Bray Wyatt. So I'm expecting that
that gimmick match made me a little more invested.
It'll be all right. It'll be fine. That's where I'm at. It'll be fine.
I don't think it's going to be the worst pay-per-view of the year. I just don't think it's going to be overly exciting. I've never been a fan of Inferno matches. I'm not a big gimmick guy. I want to see two guys just beat the crap out of each other.
I get, yeah, I gotta say that these days.
Yvonne, what you looking for in this pay-per-view?
Styles and McIntyre, that's going to be a good match. I don't have Styles winning, but I do have Styles winning the Royal Rumble. I have him in the Rumble winning.
You have Styles winning?
Yep, I do. As of now, when he don't beat Drew, they're not going to really have nothing for him.
You think Styles is going to beat Drew McIntyre?
No, I have him losing going to the Rumble.
I see. I see. All right.
And when he loses to McIntyre, he's going to be doing nothing, probably, helping the Miz.
Then he's going to get squashed by Bray.
He's going to probably getting squashed, and that's going to have him going to the Rumble and winning. And then to see Orton and Bray. Oh, poor Orton. Hope he don't get set on fire. I'll be so upset. I can't see Orton on fire.
Real simple. Both world title matches will be good, but the excitement kind of gets sucked out of it because neither are changing.
Neither one.
Nope. I'm not looking forward to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler because they're a terrible team. And
throw
Asuka,
together a tag team. They're awful.
I've never been big into Asuka, and now Charlotte's back. So if you guys follow me anything, I'm on 30 shows a week. You should know how to feel
I was telling Josh Monday, these women's tag titles, I'm a fan of women's wrestling, but these titles are a joke. When you have thrown away teams, you don't have real teams representing the title. They're jokes.
Speaking of a joke, Sasha and Carmella is going to be a joke match. Sasha's going to.
It's not going to be.
That's going to be so bad.
Sasha's going to outclass her in every. It's going to show Carmella might be at the PC next week.
Something's going to happen.
Sami Zayn and Big E, not expecting much.
Nope.
I think Big E should win. Hurt Business and New Day could be fun, but if it wasn't the third time we were seeing it, I might care a little bit more.
Kind of over it.
So I expect. I'm with AJ, and I know me and Chuck share this sentiment. Yvonne is more optimistic than us. But I haven't had many expectations for the last few pay-per-views, and I've been actually happy with it. So I'm gonna go in with super low, and anything better, I'm looking forward to the Firefly Inferno.
I dig that. That'll be fun just to see what they do. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, they're both pretty good. Their last feud wasn't the best 4 years ago, so it should be better.
It's like a redemption thing. Yeah. So we'll end on this New Year's Evil. Last night, so Finn Balor is going to fight Kyle O'Reilly. That's going to be January 6th. It's going to be a special on a Wednesday night, not an actual pay-per-view.
Yep,
they beat the shit out of each other at NXT TakeOver a few months ago, where both guys actually were out for multiple months.
Had injuries, yeah.
That
was good.
I think, AJ, you told me, I think this is going to lead to tension between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
Well, I think that's exactly where it's going. I think that it is definitely building towards eventual match between the two of them, tension, and I'm looking forward to seeing that because I think that would be a hell of a match in the future.
And I think Adam Cole versus Chuck's boy Pat McAfee will also be added to this show. Pat McAfee's actually still selling his injuries from War Games on his actual show.
I can see that,
which is awesome.
That is cool.
Pat McAfee gets it.
Yeah, absolutely. The dude's good. I hate to say it,
and
but
in the match, I'm looking forward to. How do you kick off 2021? We talked about it briefly earlier. Chuck's not a weekly NXT fan. He kind of catches it when he can, but Karrion Kross and Damian Priest.
That'd be fun. They'll tear it up.
They will.
Absolutely.
Damian Priest is going to the main roster.
He is.
Match. He has the look all day long.
There's no way Vince isn't like, I need him now.
Right.
Like, get him up here. We need him right fucking now. Which
like we talked about earlier, Vince has a certain look that he likes. Both of those guys fit into that look.
Absolutely, they do.
And Cross is even more technical because he has Scarlet. Vince is with blondes.
That's fair.
Especially blondes and hot leather.
Those are your best blondes.
Absolutely. Dude, this was fun.
It was fun.
Went through the whole card. That was a lot. There's only 6 matches. Which is weird.
We
might get Street Profits and Ziggler and Rude, which I think we'd all probably agree Street Profits would win, might get added. And there's not really much else. I thought Riddle and Lashley could get added, but that's probably a Raw match. I'm cool with.
We're just spinning our wheels here until January. That's all they're doing.
The real plans will start this Monday on Raw.
Right.
Yeah, it all builds towards Rumble.
Absolutely. I want to break the fourth wall here real quick. If you guys think I've been looking confused here, my TV just fucking froze up, so I see nothing that's going on.
Yeah, you're clear here.
We're clear there.
So
internet.
I made sure that we were working on my phone. That's why I was like fucking looking down and stuff. But there you go.
We're clear on half of the laptops. In the
on one of the 3 screens, we're clear.
We're clear on something.
It's just not the one we all can see.
Right.
You can't see us. Nope.
Fucking internet. But anyway.
Guys, hey, thank you very much for having me on. This has been an absolute blast.
Hey, brother.
Before you go, Joe asked something earlier. Get your guys' merch out there. Joe wants to know, where can you pick up some sweet Working Fan shirts? And tell us about Working Fans. If you guys don't already know, here's your chance to learn, but you should already know. But
All right, so the Working Fans Podcast is basically three friends talking wrestling like we did all through school, all through life. For the longest time as a wrestling fan, you felt like you were talking in a closet. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. We're the place. I used to wrestle professionally. You've got two lifelong fans, and we talk everything that you need to know about wrestling every week. And we love to debate with you. So we bring the 5-3-1, which is your top five, our top five, and we try to figure out who's the best of the top five. And if you want those cool merchandise like Joe's trying to get me to plug, you can check us out at the Working Fans. We have our own website, workingfans.com. You can check us out on Facebook, and you can always find us 6 p.m. live on the hottest network anywhere, The Buzz.
Hell yeah.
Next week.
I'm there every week, brother.
I'll get with producer Joe, and whether it's a RSH presents Working Fans or Working Fans presents RSH, due to Christmas Eve, obviously we'll all be with family members. There won't be no RSH next Thursday. You're going to get a first mashup of the two. So I'd love to do a 5-3-1 with them and kind of mix our show in and just
absolutely
combine them together and see what we can make stick.
It's going to be your regularly scheduled Working Fans Podcast next Wednesday, 6 p.m. at The Buzz.
Or we could just be working on our hostilities.
There you go.
Dude, appreciate it. Check out Working Fans. They had a show yesterday. They talked about best general managers and who was better out of Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman all day.
And that gets debates going there. If you grew up on NWA and you grew up anywhere near the South, you have a tendency of leaning towards Cornette. If you grew up anytime within the last 20 years, chances are you're going for Paul Heyman.
Makes sense.
I'm going Paul Heyman too.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman's a fucking rat-looking motherfucker, and he's so good at what he does.
Yeah.
If there's anybody who just makes you want to punch him in the face, it's those two guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, AJ, brother, we appreciate you coming on the show. We fucking love you every 6 p.m. on Wednesdays after Working Fans Podcast, and we love you here tonight on our stage. We appreciate you, brother.
Guys, you guys are the best. Love being here every time. I'm glad this time I got to work with Yvonne. She's wonderful, and clearly the best dresser in her family.
Oh, thank you, AJ. I say that all the time.
And the best dresser on RSH.
I'm double.
And I'm killing it making those collages too. So
yeah, you are.
I'm talented somewhere.
You have all the talent. You're the best Wednesday night champion.
You're the talent of sports. I'm with football. I'm with
let's not get
everything
carried
else.
away. All right, brother. We appreciate you.
Later.
The boardroom. Don't bring sports into this right now.
No, I said you're talented.
I'm not trying to lose viewers.
No,
anyway.
You're talented of football.
Don't talk about the show. It's almost been canceled like 9 times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down into 7 10-minute segments because that's what people want.
Monday through Sunday, dude.
Which we should break down RSH into 10 13-minute segments to make our show better. But anyway, speaking of shows, The Buzz, like AJ said, The Buzz is where everything's at WTB.com, spelled DOTCOM all together. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're everywhere. You saw our social media video earlier. Check out the rest of our weekly lineup right here.
This fucking computer. There's sound on it. If there's going to be sound. This thing always moves for us.
Normally I can hear the video.
That's true, in the headphones. There's got to be sound on it. I want to freak out about it. All right. So catch out all of those shows at The Buzz at pretty much every day a week, it sounds like.
Actually, I played the wrong video.
Oh, shit.
Oh, boy.
Rookie mistake. This is what I get for bringing up the boardroom and canceled shows. Check out all of our weekly lineup for sure this time.
I thought it was a little bit shorter.
Tell them that's what we
yeah,
ready
man, I'm
for.
all thrown off now. I
Tell
can't
them
hear
that's
shit.
what we ready for. Bringing that to competitors. Do we see the confetti fall? Be
Fucking
ready
bullshit.
for. Tell them that's what we ready for. Tell them that's what we ready for. Bringing that to competitors. Do we see the confetti fall? Be ready for. Tell them I'm ready, any opponent. The crown heavy and every minute is chosen. A path only fit for kings, and you all know what this court means.
Us?
What did you enlist for?
Yeah.
If it isn't getting more rings, then you gon' have to switch your team.
Not sure I get that either.
Trust me, it gets more mean. I'm a nightmare going up against your dreams. First step is explosive like a bomb hit. Bet if I let it fly, I cannot miss. And you ain't got a chance at the top 10 when you getting clamped all night.
I mean, I really don't know either. That's weird.
On the block, throwing lobs to my top bigs. I'm a chef, no look with the top dish. Top game, through the pressure is the.
All right, welcome back to RSH, apparently the bloopers episode.
I have no idea what's going on.
Me either.
I'm glad I wasn't shit talking people.
Yeah, no shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's our live show. Sorry you couldn't hear it. Not sure exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like again, like halfway through the show, my computer froze up, and that's where we're at.
Mine froze up a little bit too. Marital nonsense tomorrow. What are you guys talking about?
Oh yeah, marital nonsense is tomorrow, and we're going to talk about how Danae told me what she wants to talk about. Something about how she can't do stuff right or something. I don't remember. Check it out tomorrow night. We'll talk about it then. Typically, it's just kind of what's going on anyway. Very random, very, very nonsensical. So check us out tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as long as nobody comes over and makes us late again.
Yep, and then Archie Between the Pipes tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern Time.
Oh, did we bring up that we're going to be on Armchair Wrestling come Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
It's kind of earlier.
Oh, all right. Well, check us out there on Saturday as well. It's going to be the 2020 best stuff. Check us out.
Yeah, female, male, superstar of the year, tag team of the year, moment of the year, storyline of the year, everything of the year, the whole year.
Cool.
Mine will be heavy WWE.
I dig it. Mine's going to be heavy WWE as well because I don't watch anything else for the most part. Is that going to wrap it up?
Well, Archie, tomorrow on Between the Pipes, he has special guest Bert Dione. He's the Stanley Cup winner from the Montreal Canadiens from 1993. That's a big one.
Oh, shit. That's a big one, dude.
That's a huge guest.
6 years old.
See, Archie has topped himself. He had a great guest on a few weeks ago, the singer, Greg Ryder. Then he had the chick on last week. I can't remember her name. Then this, I mean, he just keeps topping himself.
He's just mad because, like, 3 months ago, Marital Nonsense beat his ratings, and he's just trying to fucking still.
So you're that NXT to his AEW.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. A war there.
Yeah, dude. Check out both shows. I know they're streaming at the same time, but they're always there at the Buzz.
Yeah.
Watch them both.
You can watch
I watch them
whenever.
both. Easy to watch them both.
What's the best thing about live shows on the Buzz is even after it's over, you can go back and rewatch at your convenience. It's
They're
amazing.
everywhere. They never go away. It's crazy. It's not
It's-
like they're psychopaths going on deleting all of our content. It's always there.
It's fantastic. So anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed the show. I apologize for the weirdness that just happened. I still can't see anything going on.
That is honestly, I've done 100 probably like 60 shows with these videos. I've never played a video and not been muted.
Yeah, that's-
during it,
that-
'cause
that
it
is
automatically mutes it.
That's
right.
Whatever.
That's what I assumed. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But anyway, just like all this equipment, keep watching the shows, keep checking out the Buzz, follow us all of our social medias, and at the end of the day, buy Manscaped 2020 at RSH2020 at manscaped.com. Anyway, hope you all enjoy the show and keep fearing regularly scheduled.